Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show, Red Pill Edition. My name is Leon Jones, and I'm going to get right into the topic. Today's topic is going to be part two, dealing with this older woman who was influenced by external forces. So, the title of today's video is going to be Older Women Are Influenced by External Forces, Part 2. Now, the reason why I am doing a Part 2, it's because I didn't get all of the issues in Part 1. Because my videos are generally 25 to 30 minutes long. Might be too long for some individuals to watch. But I don't believe in doing 5-minute videos. Because the more information you have, the more knowledge you have. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about more of the societal external forces. See, last week I dealt with the grown kids living at home. I dealt with the family. I dealt with the girlfriends. And then I touched a little upon women being in power and politics. Now, today, I'm going to talk about the 5 power conferences of society that women are involved in. So the first area I want to go to is religion. Now, there are a number of older women who go to church. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who goes to church is a sinner. But the problem I have with a number of these churches is that these churches do not understand the hierarchy, God, man, woman, and child. And a number of these older women who go to these churches believe everything that pastor says. They don't read the Bible themselves. In fact, a lot of these religions out here, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, they're all man-made religions. They all come from paganism. But you have a number of women who sit in those pews every Sunday and hear the preacher speak on certain scriptures of the Bible. But the preacher doesn't tell the older woman that she should be teaching these younger women what it is to be a wife. Now, he doesn't do that because he's making money off of these older women. And these older women are influenced by that pastor, particularly the black pastor, because the black pastor is like a surrogate husband or surrogate father. And the black pastor basically tells a number of the women in his congregation what they want to hear. Because again, they are customers. And she is influenced by the pastor's words. Not by the Bible, but by the pastor's words. Now, I'm not saying that all women are like that. We know that. But there are enough of them who utilize religion as an excuse to have the behaviors, like being defiant. Narcissistic. But see, religion is supposed to be a help, not a hindrance. But in these Christian churches today, a number of them promote homosexuality, single motherhood. Some of them are even talking about pedophilia. Depends on what church you go to. And if they're not talking about pedophilia, a number of these churches who have leaders in the church have engaged in pedophilia. They talk about fornication, Some of these pastors have engaged in fornication. These pastors have slept around with a number of these older women while these older women are married. And see, in the black community, a number of black men are afraid to call out this black pastor. Now, I've called out the black pastor, but there aren't enough of me or Brother David Carrolls to go around who talk about this black pastor. But see, when it comes to this religion and being an indoctrination, a number of the women who go to church don't practice the principles. They only hear what the preacher is saying so she can get emotionally excited. And that emotionally excitement, she says, is the Holy Ghost. That's not the Holy Ghost. You just like what the preacher is saying because it caters to you. And a number of these older women out here tell you how much they love God. They try to be reformed again virgins. They use church to take care of all their problems. But the problem is with that, they're indoctrinating these younger women to think the same way. Go out and have babies out of wedlock. You just go to church and the church will cure it. The church is not going to cure your problems. The church is a place that you can go and get some spirituality, but you have to practice it. But a number of these older women never practice what they preach. Because when the church service is over, they're still living the same type of lives that they lived before they went into the church. And when it comes to religion, like I said, religion is man-made. There's nothing wrong with believing in God. I believe in God. But you got to practice the principles. And when it comes to these churches aren't teaching these women about family, about being a wife, about your role as an older woman. So when the older women aren't getting that teaching from the religious institutions, then how are they going to teach the younger women? And remember something about a society. A society can rise no higher than the morality of its women. Women set the trends. But when it comes to religion, a number of these women really don't believe in God. They believe in a pastor, but they won't admit that. Now, my second point, we go to education. Education has drawn in a lot of feminists. You have a number of older women who have PhDs they're teaching in college. A number of them don't like men. A number of them believe in lesbianism. And a number of these old professors out here are indoctrinating younger women. They're indoctrinating the younger women to hate men. And they're also indoctrinating men to be effeminate. A number of these older women are the big cojones by telling you that capitalism is bad. Because a number of older women play the role of being oppressed, where they're not oppressed. And many of them are teaching in the English department and the social science department. And when you go take courses with this older professor, she is going to utilize her own opinion to indoctrinate students into thinking what she's saying is correct. Again, this older woman in the education system has a lot of power because she's been allowed by affirmative action to be part of these powerful positions. She's been told that she needs an education. But what she doesn't realize is this education that she's gotten is an indoctrination. And what this older woman is teaching her students as a college professor and even as a teacher in school is basically how to hate men. Masculinity is toxic. Men will oppress you if you marry them. She's really saying that we're the better gender because it's men who created all these wars. It's men who are the most corrupt. But what she's not saying, this older woman, is I'm the one who's more Machiavellian. I'm the manipulator. I'm the one that's causing the downfall of society. She's not going to say that. And she's not going to say that because this older woman is teaching this younger woman via education how to be a victim. And not only is she teaching the younger women about victimization, she's also teaching the guys how to be blue pill simps, blue pill cucks. And see, a reason why a lot of these guys can't transition from the blue pill to the red pill is because a number of guys want to stay in their blue pill frame of mind. A number of these guys believe being blue pill is going to get them women. And some of these older women, even though they're in the education department, they're professors, they're administrators, they're also mothers. And if they have sons, they're only going to teach the sons the feminist way of thinking. So when these sons go out and have to deal with real men, these sons are going to tell you how masculinity is bad. Because these mothers only teach their sons how to be feminine, how to get into their feelings. But when it comes to this education, so the woman who's involved in education is basically telling her students, particularly her female students, that they are oppressed. That when they deal with men, they're dealing with men who have attitudes of toxic masculinity. But she's not telling her female students about feminists that are toxic. Why? Because this older woman who's in the education department is a feminist herself. And she believes in her right mind, even though she's got a lot of rights, that she's still oppressed. And that's education. Now going to the media segment. The media, which has a number of older women who are playing parts, who are directors, and of course, some of these men who write these scripts. Well, the older woman promotes the feminist agenda with all these TV shows like Queen Sugar. And of course, Oprah is a big contributor to that, The Color Purple. You had shows like Empire, Power. These shows you saw homosexual scenes. You even have Tyler Perry. Look at Medea. A number of these older women love these shows because they want to be these actors in these shows because they live their lives by these shows. TV has a big influence on how people who have no knowledge of what's going on around them see the world. And the purpose of this feminist agenda on TV is to make everything that was not natural be natural, like superhero movies. The Marvel series. I used to collect comics when I was younger. Captain America, the Flash, some of them were DC comics as well. Spider-Man. Well, now, have a number of these older women producing these movies again. But they're replacing all the male superheroes with female superheroes. And when you have sons who believe in this indoctrination that women can be leaders, well, these sons aren't going to be able to deal with men like myself who don't believe women should be leaders because they're too emotional. They're too irrational in their thinking. But these women who get in Hollywood have a big influence on these audiences when it comes to what's going on in the culture. You see, we hear the term racism, victimization, when really the big problem is cultural, because these older women who are feminists are still driving society because they're in positions of power. Now, I'm not saying that every woman should be relegated to the kitchen. Women can't have education, but it's how they're utilizing the five power conferences of society to change culture to where it is role reversal. And you see on TV, number of shows. I think The King of Queens was one where the father was a big goof and the mother was the smart one. And see, TV has a big influence on what people see and how people act. And a number of these women believe that TV can change a lot of people's minds, can change a lot of weak people's minds. And men, when it comes to watching TV, TV is all blue pill. And the man who's in the blue pill frame of mind still lives on the plantation. In fact, some of these blue pill men who look at TV and see what's going on television bring that nonsense out into the real world, and they become feminized, and they believe what they see on TV. And when you have any type of discourse with them, they're very emotional. Because I've seen men who watch TV shows, and I've heard them cackle about TV shows as well, just like women. And when they start cackling, that really makes men look weak, because a number of these effeminate men think toxic masculinity exists when it doesn't. Being a man means bringing your dominant traits out there. It doesn't mean being a master. It just means being dominant. Now, moving on to my fourth point. Government. A lot of women, older women, have a lot of influence. Now they're in powerful positions. They're your congresspeople. They're your senators. You have a number of them who are running for president. And you hear the vitriol that they are spewing. Many of these women don't have any clue of what's going on. And these are older women. And they're teaching these younger women about girl power, female empowerment. And you have a number of women out here, these older women who are lobbyists. And they have all kinds of issues that they're prepared to bring to the blue pill baited cucks who are males in politics, because they're a big voting bloc. But these women who are lobbyists want more and more protections for themselves. And see, when it comes to a woman, most women only think about themselves. They don't think about anybody else but themselves. A woman who has a girlfriend moving in her house Girlfriend isn't doing anything but living off the fat of the land. Girlfriend can't get to work, but she's asking the one who owns the house to help her with gas money, help her with food, help her pay her telephone. This is the agenda of some of these older women. They're still freeloading and utilizing other women. But in politics, they're doing the same thing. They want more and more policies that suppress men, and they help women. These older women came up with the Me Too movement. They came up with the accusations of rape. These older women want to silence men because men like me who are red pill are exposing the truth about a number of these women who are in positions of power. But you have a number of men who don't have the mindset to see what's going on because why? They've been indoctrinated. And the more and more women get into power, the more and more men are going to be out of power. Now, as men, we could stop feminism today if we wanted to. But another issue that stands in between red pill men like myself and the feminists are your traitors, known as the blue pill cucks. Because these blue pill cucks side with the feminists. In fact, they're doing the work of the feminists. They're doing the work for them in government. They're doing the work for them in education. They're around everywhere. And then when it comes to the media, the news, you have a lot of females who are working for CNN, Fox, and all the major news networks. Women are mainstream, these older women. They've worked themselves into a position of power. And if you're a younger woman out here and you disagree with the older woman, what she's going to tell you is, we did all this work so you could get where you wanted to go. Believe it or not all these women did fighting. But you have a number of them who are lobbying for more rights in Congress, lobbying for more government programs. Because again, when it comes to government, these older women believe in the welfare state. They don't believe in families anymore. They don't believe in being under a man's leadership. They believe that is oppression. And they keep utilizing that over and over and over again, and it is working because men who are in the blue pill world don't see that. They don't want to see that. They think they're helping women. But what these older women are going to do to the men, even the men in power, they're going to throw them under the bus too, especially if they're blue pill. And you have a number of women who can get away with statutory rape. A lot of these older teachers. A number of women are very corrupt. They're very violent themselves. Look at Nancy Pelosi, her policies. She's the Speaker of the House. When you have a number of these older women in power who are bitter, they're teaching all these younger women how to be bitter. And these women are not only doing it through divorce and teaching their own children, they're teaching society. And they're teaching women in society how to get over. And all they're doing is shaming men. And they're teaching men how to go against other men. In other words, they're teaching the blue pill how to go against the red pill men with knowledge. And the way women get power, they have enough lobbies, because when you're dealing with politics, you need to be well organized, well financed, and you need to have an issue. And a number of these women, they're voting. Men aren't voting. But men need to get out here and vote. Because you have a number of women who want to utilize the court system, they want to utilize the government for their own benefits. Now, the next topic Let's get into private sector jobs or corporations. The number of women being hired in human resources. Well, when it comes to sexual harassment policies, these are policies that were started by the older woman, the feminist. And the feminist, seems to me, they change what the definition of sexual harassment is. Now, when it comes to the workplace, we have to have sexual harassment training every year. And sexual harassment really doesn't mean anything to women, because there are women who have told jokes on the job, and I've heard them. It's for men. It's to control the men. The number of men don't see this because they've been indoctrinated under this mainstream blue pill system that keeps them suppressed. And as a man, when you don't have knowledge, you'll never have power. And when it comes to the workplace, once you have a number of women in human resources, what are they going to do? They're going to hire women. And they're going to hire women for management positions. And when women are put into management positions, that means they're trying to get all the men out. And women, for the most part, are there for the paycheck. But they're given all this responsibility, but they can't be accountable for their own lives. And a lot of these companies get tax breaks for hiring women. Women, because they lobbied in Congress for more protection, more benefits. Well, you see that transcends all over the culture for women. And this is why a lot of these older women are allowed to get away with what they want. You look at Bill Cosby, some of these other actors. These are older women who ran out of money, who couldn't get jobs, so they tried to use the system to take down this man. It worked. Because these older women, a lot of them, they don't save up for any type of pension. They love to spend money. And these older women are teaching the young women that all you have to do is go through life and be a victim, and the system will take care of you. Again, when it comes to government jobs and private sector jobs, these corporations want women in power because the men at the top are threatened by men who are the worker bees and lower level management, because men know how to obtain power from other men. So these companies use women as the buffer. And when it comes to these older women put the playbook in these men's ears, and these men have followed it. But once these blue pill men in the government and private sector jobs go the wrong way and actually have an independent thought against this feminist rhetoric, the feminist will throw him under the bus as well. So when it comes to everything in society that I just mentioned, religion, education, media, government, and corporations or private sector jobs, these areas are riddled with older women. A lot of these older women aren't attractive. They're bitter. And everywhere you see these older women, particularly in power positions, ones who don't like men or ones who have had bad relations with men, they're going to take their emotions out on a number of men they see in these areas of culture, and they're going to get away with it because they can say, well, I've been oppressed. even if there is no facts behind it. In other words, they can have an accusation of rape, sexual harassment, or sexual allegations. No due process. And when it comes to men, we have to be even more aware. This is why you need to take the red pill. Because the red pill is about awareness, not just for relationships, but what's going on in the world. And this older woman is the highlight. She got the knowledge and she's been using it. And she knows how to work it. Because the number of men in today's society aren't the brightest. Because a number of men have also hopped on board this older woman's feminism. And this older woman, again, is teaching the younger women not to be feminine. Teaching these younger women this strong and independence, which is basically a socialist mindset. Because this older woman's main agenda is to extract as many resources from men in the system as possible. And she's teaching the younger woman to do the same thing. Because these older women believe in a welfare state. And if you don't believe me, you look how many older women vote Democrat in every election. Because when it comes to power, men are the ones who have given women these powers to destroy you, especially the ones at the top. Because again, you got the blue pill beta males running everything. And they believe in this feminist nonsense. And these blue pill beta males don't want to be threatened by red pill men who understand what's going on, because we can take down the blue pill beta males. But again, at the end of the day, this older woman wants role reversal. She believes in feminist Marxism, and she's teaching the younger women how to be better just like she is. And a lot of the protections that these older women are striving for, they require no accountability if the older woman is the perpetrator. It's all to continue to suppress men. And that's with speech as well. And like I said, if you don't believe me, look around you. Do your research. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with being a man, because masculinity isn't toxic. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 401 Talk Zone Radio Show. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, my name is Leon Jones. God bless you. I'm out.